Welcome to TCB, Taking Care of Business. I'm Ilinda, and I'm so very glad you've decided to make Village Television one of the regular shows that you view. I'm so very glad that you've decided that we bring to you excellent programming. The session here, this studio right now, is a session where you might, if you have small children, you might want to take them out of the room. Or if you're extra sensitive, maybe you need to leave the room, because we're going to be talking about a subject that is very important. It is very important to women and very important to families. It has such a widespread effect that we felt it was so important to talk about. I've invited my guest on so that she can share with you the information that you need to know. Now, my guest, her identity is concealed, and we've changed her name to protect her privacy. Also, what we want you to know is that at the end of the show, when we give you information, it will be information for someone that is recognized what they need to do and how important it is that it be done. Today, we're talking about brothers on the down low, or down low brothers. And I have with me my guest. Her name is Janice, to conceal her privacy. Welcome, Janice.
Thank you.
2 years ago, you contacted me, approximately 2 years ago, after you heard me talking on WZAK. And there I was on the radio with another brother that was talking about brothers on the down low. And what he was revealing to me, actually, I was glad it was radio, because I was starting to feel very anxious about the information he was providing. And you called me and you said at that time you wanted to investigate brothers on the down low, or down low brothers. What piqued your curiosity at that time?
One of my children at the age of 16 was abused in that way. And it just totally changed his life, devastated him. He didn't realize what he was getting into at that time because he was too inexperienced. It took him 20 years, approximately 20 years, before he would come back and tell me what had happened to him at the age of 16. And that's why I started to investigate.
Wow. Was that someone that initiated it, or was he having an identity crisis at the time, or how did he share with you what had happened in that instance?
No, this was an older and trusted individual who took advantage of the situation, and maybe he had some problems as well. A lot of our people have issues in their family, you know, fathers who have taken advantage of them. Usually the person who's abused takes it out on another individual,
the abuser
someone
becomes
weaker.
The abused becomes the abuser.
That's exactly what happens. That's what happens.
Okay.
So this is what happened in his case, and he kept it a secret. There were some things that were being said about him, but he denied everything that was going on until he got to the place where he couldn't stand the guilt, and he was an adult by then. And of course, as a mother, you feel like, well, I should have known.
Oh yeah, you feel totally violated, because I had similar situations in my family with my son at a very young age being molested by someone that was an adult, and you feel that you should have been able to protect your child, and you feel violated, and you feel, how could someone take your child's innocence, all of those things.
Well, you feel betrayed because the person was a trusted individual, and I allowed my son to go with that person and spend time with that person, thinking it was going to turn out well for him and that he'd come out a better person, and I got the exact opposite.
So did you feel that when you started investigating the subject, did you feel that the person that had violated your son was on the down low, or what about that subject piqued your particular interest?
It wasn't so much the subject at that time. The first thing I started looking into was childhood sexual abuse, is what I first began to look at. And I got information on that. And like we said, it comes from somebody who had been abused, and they abused somebody under them. And it seems like this person's entire family had been abused by their father. And some of the boys acted out. As a matter of fact, one of the individuals who was married to one of the family members said she was married 7 years to this person, never had sex with them, not one time for the 7 years
Okay.
before she left the marriage.
Okay. But she didn't, yeah. You can't see her face, but we're like, duh, what happened? What was she thinking was going on in that relationship?
I think she was enjoying being a part of the family. She enjoyed the activities, the traveling, and so she stayed, thinking that maybe he would change. And of course, you think that if you put a person in counseling, that that's going to change them.
Yes.
However, this person would not go.
And I find that with women, that we do believe that, you know, we marry somebody, that whatever behavior they were exhibiting, they will change. And it doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
Okay.
So when she became aware that this was not going to change and she'd never have children, that's when she left the relationship.
Okay. And so you began to investigate, you began to, because you said to me, I'll call you back when I when I found out more information and investigated this.
That's exactly what I did. And what I did was I started asking people in the community who I felt had some experience in that area. I started reading books, and I collected as much information as I could to try to be able to talk about it and make some sense of what was happening in my life.
What was being exhibited in your own situation? What behaviors were you noticing?
Okay. I am married, and I do still live with this individual. And I noticed a friendship that he has with one person. When he wakes up in the morning, the first person he calls is this one particular fella. Throughout the day, phone calls go on back and forth. They have to spend some time throughout the week with face-to-face meetings, you know, in whatever the setting. Somebody has to go there, or he, you know, comes to him. I'm like, what's up with this? And
Y'all are closer than close.
Closer than close, a little closer. And his wife felt the same way. She's wondering, you know, I don't understand why they're so close like they are. So we just kind of let the conversation go. You know, but then I started seeing some other things. Is it okay to say?
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
I started seeing some things in the underwear that were not what I thought. If anybody is seeing any kind of blood in an underwear, a male underwear, then I think that male ought to be running to the doctor to find out what's
Absolutely.
up. You know?
Yes.
But when you start getting excuses, oh, that's there because of such and such, oh, that's there because of the other, and you get 5 different excuses.
Okay. Not to exploit that, but what kind of excuses did he come up with? Just give us a couple that are. What possibly?
I scratched myself with my fingernails.
Okay.
You know, when I was wiping, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So that they can recognize, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The excuses.
I was too vigorous when I was wiping, so I just tore some skin.
Yes.
You know, that sort of thing. So
Okay.
that's a couple of them.
Okay. So then once he knew that you were aware of that, did he start like doing his own laundry or
Yes.
hiding his own? Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
To be honest with you, he has always, since I've been in the relationship, he has done his own laundry.
Okay.
And I thought that was unusual. You have a wife.
Yes.
Why would you not want your wife to take care of that, you know? But no.
Exactly. And then hindsight, of course, you find out that
Hindsight.
that was some of the reason. Okay. We're just getting into the conversation, and you won't want to leave, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
我要顧住鄰居嘅細路哥。
氣温喺0度，生意未來依然係星期金華，但係周末天氣將轉天晴，陽光普照，氣温增上攝氏80度，並且持續到下星期。以上係未來5日嘅氣象預測。
一姐，我要你啊！過住嗰個人，我唔信得過佢啊！
氣温係70度，雖然未來
Yo, Ty, what up? Richie, what up, player?
爺爺，係你叫我唔好判人㗎，你記唔記得啊？記唔記得？
How you doing, son?
All right, man.
I'm chilling, of course. You gonna be there, right? Yeah, gotta play ball.
Imagine the power of one voice. Click freedomcenter.org.
The fight against arthritis isn't a walk in the park, but it's a start. Arthritis affects 66 million adults.
And 300,000 kids like me. I'm Patrick, and I have juvenile arthritis. Walking for me can be a struggle, but I don't have to walk alone.
Join an arthritis walk team in your community today to help the Arthritis Foundation improve lives and find a cure. For more information, visit arthritis.org.
Village TV Channel 218 on Time Warner Cable is your diversity channel with shows like Game Access, Urban Flicks, and The Sam Sooke Show. TVT on Channel 218 gives you quality programming with unique local flavor. Village TV provides television with the urban community in mind. So tune in to Village TV Channel 218 on Time Warner Cable.
Well, we're back and we're talking with Janice, concealed name, because our guest, we're protecting her privacy, because we're talking about the subject, if you've just joined us, about brothers on the down low and how that happens and what things you can look for. And it's such an important subject because so many women are being affected by diseases and HIV and all of these things. So we want you to pay close attention to what Janice is telling us. Okay, and so you started having these suspicions, different behaviors began to occur, that he was not giving you a very good explanation, or in your gut you felt that they were not real explanations. Is that correct?
God gives a woman intuition.
Yes.
And a lot of times if you don't know something's going on, but you feel it in your, like you said, in your gut, and you know there's something wrong with this, you know, then you need to listen to God, and you need to go, you know, seek more information on it, ask God to reveal it, you know, and then you need to find out what you need to do about it.
And you got to be ready to face it when you see it.
You've got to be ready to face it.
And so what brought it to a tipping point?
Well, I started thinking about my health and how if this is what I think it is, I could get AIDS. I could come down with AIDS, and it would take both of us out, you know. So I started asking questions. Of course, you get deny. So
You're crazy.
you're crazy.
You're,
And you do. You get feelings like, well, maybe this is not what I think it is. And I think that's probably the stage I'm in now. But the more I see and the more I talk to other people, I'm pretty sure
that
of
it
what
is.
I'm dealing with.
Did you name it with him?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
And he, of course,
Denied.
denied. And so you've been married how long?
7 years.
7 years. And so is it, you're at the point where you have to make a decision
Yes.
to save your own life,
Yes.
but you've invested 7 years in this person. So then does it come to the point where, you know, there's a movie out called Invisible, and it asks the question, what is the wife to do? Because you already know that, you already know the consequences of staying. But is it a decision between, do I stay in a sexless marriage because I value being with the person and not being alone, or do I decide to strike out on my own? What are feelings there? What are the decision points that you're confronting?
Well, you do. Say if I had children, you know, then I'd have to take all that into consideration. But I don't. There are a lot of women who do stay in the relationship knowing, and we've had an example not too long ago, a minister who was on the down low, and the person that he was with told on him, but his wife decided to stay. The family stayed with him and supported him. You can do that. I suggest you get condoms, you know, That'll work. If you decide you want to stay, you need to get condoms. You know.
That was what was most interesting about the show that I was on with WZAK, because the brother it was the first time my mind was being enlightened to the fact that I am single, and if I save myself, and I'm saving myself for someone, and then I marry, then even after I marry, then I have to have him wear a condom, and I'm married.
No, you need to go have the blood test done before you marry him.
Yes.
You both should probably, just to make it equal.
But even had you done that and found out, and there was no disease, no nothing,
disease.
you would not have been able to know.
There's still no disease, and because I did go to be checked.
Yes.
I was that sure that was what was going on. I did go to get checked.
Okay.
So then I have no proof, like I have nothing in my face.
Yes.
It's almost like I have to see something, like an act, the actual act, before I'll know. In other words, I'm 99% sure.
Yes, but you need that concrete evidence. What about cheaters? The show cheaters, when they follow them and get all this.
That's what I need.
That's what you need. You need cheaters. You need to find out that information. And actually, so it'll be right there, because, okay, let's explore this. Let's say some show like Cheaters, and we're not giving them a heads up, but some show where they follow, and then they find out, and they show it to you. Would your love for him still keep you there?
No. No, because you wouldn't be able to trust them. No matter if they were caught and said, I'll never do it again, you would not be able to trust them. You know, because they've lied, they've denied, they've put their pleasure before your safety. You wouldn't be able to trust them. You know?
And every act would be suspect.
Yeah.
Every time he left the house, it's not. Well, of course, if you said, where are you going, you have the right to do that, because he's violated your trust. And he would have to build the trust up again. But how could it ever be built up again if, in fact, when I asked you, you denied it and you lied to me so strongly? You know, like those people in the politics, when it's first revealed about an affair, say, oh, I vehemently deny that allegation, and it's not true, and it'll come out later that it's not true. And then we find out it's true.
Right, right.
So how could you ever trust?
You wouldn't be able to. You'd have to move on. No matter if he's the love of your life, you will have to move on,
Okay.
you know, at that point. I don't know what else you could do.
Exactly.
You know.
So, wow. It's so important for women, and I'm so glad you brought up the test, because it's so important for women, because it's finding that 70% of women that are married to men that are out there having sex with someone are coming up with AIDS.
Right.
Okay. And I asked you off the camera if you knew the answer, and we were kind of figuring it out ourselves as to why this term, Down Low Brothers, was termed Down Low Brothers, and the definition is African American men. So share with that what you shared with me.
Well, what I thought was maybe that's where he got his statistics from.
And you said he was the author of
the author of the Down Low, the book by John King. I believe he got his statistics from his community, from the church, and he said 25% of those who are on the 25% of black men are living on the down low, is what he said in his book.
And then you said to me that a lot of them are in the church.
Are in the church.
And why did you suspect that to be?
That's a good place to hide. And if we have, like I'll say, the history of the church, you always notice quite often, I'll just say quite often,
okay. Yes.
the choir director is kind of gay,
okay.
you know, flamboyant or whatever, and suspicious or suspect. So it's going on, and it is going on in the church. And
when you said, what I found interesting is that men who are on the down low do not consider themselves homosexual. They consider themselves heterosexual.
Right.
Though they're having sex with men.
Right. That's exactly, they say they are not gay because gay is sissy. sissified. You know, they'll point to an individual who's got that little
that's way
sweet
over
thing
the
going
top.
on.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's gay to them. But
Having
this
sex with another
activity
man.
is bisexual. You can't say homo. Homo means same, but it's bisexual and it's wrong. And God calls it an abomination. You know, so.
Okay. If he were to say to you today, okay, you got me. It's true. And I'm sorry I kept it from you. Forgive me. What then?
Again, I wouldn't be able to trust him.
But you would forgive him?
I don't know.
Haven't got to that point yet.
I don't think I would, because he's lied and he's going to lie again. And the wife feels like she's being used. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She feels like a cover-up. You're going to take me with you so that you can show people you have a wife. So if you have a wife, you couldn't possibly be doing anything on the side. You know?
Yes, if there's any suspicions.
Yeah,
And we
here's
have a
my
good
wife,
relationship.
here's
Yeah.
my family.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I am not sure how we can get around leaving the situation. I just don't think you could.
What I want to point out to you is that to forgive is necessary for you, because that's for the inside of you. It doesn't mean forget.
Right.
Because when we don't forgive, then it sets up poisons in our own system.
Right.
Jan Van Zemp said, we'll know we've healed when we cease to hurt when we talk about it. So therefore, because you're in a stage where you're just processing information and it hasn't been confirmed to your satisfaction, once it's confirmed to your satisfaction and the hurt and the pain is tremendous, then there'll be a period of time where you'll have to process and redefine who you are, and the fact that it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
It had nothing to do with your character, your spirit, your soul, none of that. This is an individual's issues.
Right.
And so once you get past that, then you'll have to come to the point where you say, do I forgive? And you say, I forgive, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to repeat the same mistakes again.
Well, this person has made a choice. You know, you
Yes.
can't make excuses that something happened to me in my past. My father hurt me, my father, you know, abused me, whatever. This person made a choice to be how they are.
Absolutely.
You know.
Okay, when we come back, we'll have a final commercial. This is our final commercial. Stay tuned.
Honey, would you get me some ice cream?
Ice cream.
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some things you just can't do without. It happens every night, all across America.
See that number? That's about how much you can expect to pay on an $11,000 credit card balance. Now that's if you have good credit. If you have not so good credit, debt is a numbers game that you cannot afford to lose. So get a winning team to back you up. Call Cambridge Credit Counseling right now. Cambridge will work with you to develop a plan that will help you knock out unsecured debt and avoid future financial troubles. Whether it be through education and advice or through the establishment of a debt management plan, Cambridge can help you like it's helped over 1 million others. So what are you waiting for? Call Cambridge, and I don't mean tomorrow. Call Cambridge right now and get the winning edge that you deserve. Win this numbers game. Get out of debt and learn to save money in the process. Don't delay. Call Cambridge today. Let the professionals at Cambridge Credit Counseling give you the peace of mind you deserve.
I always wanted a family. I waited for one, but it never seemed to work out. I would see other families and think how great it would be, but at least we had each other. And then my husband and I had the chance to be parents. Two sisters wanted to be adopted together. Every day they fill us with hope and love, the things we thought we were supposed to give them. Call the Dave Thomas Foundation for adoption. 800-ASK-DTFA. You'll change a child's life forever.
I'm here with my guest Janice, who